So it's very difficult to figure out what people really care about, you know. I make these videos every day, and I want to help people who are mentally ill or who struggle with trauma or abusive parents or mentally ill parents. I'm like, well, maybe the YA crowd, the younger crowd needs the most help. So I wrote that ebook, Above and Below, and to help the younger crowd with feelings of severe depression and mental illness and mentally ill parents and abusive parents and trauma and that kind of thing, and what it feels like to be depressed. And I also have talent of entering the present moment and becoming God, or becoming a vessel for creation or God, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't even matter if you believe in God. I don't really think anything should have a name anyways. Whatever it is. Sometimes I become present, I just start talking and people just agree with it. They just understand it. It's like having intuition or having a gut feeling and going with it. So I have that ability because I had massive seizures when I was 3 years old. And they were 2 hours long, these seizures. And I believe in that state when I was 3 years old, having these 2 hour long seizures, that my brain kind of transformed and was somehow connected to the universe or creation or all things at such a young age, because I've always had the ability to dissolve my person, not be a person anymore, and connect to the source, creation, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. So I've always had these special kind of powers to show off. That's why I always joke around about having a sex cult, because some people they enjoy what I give for some weird reason. But I don't know what to do anymore. I mean, I enter the woods every day and I make these videos, and I don't know why I do it. And I don't know if I'm trying to help anybody anymore, or if I'm just trying to save the human race. Because I think the only way the human race can be saved is if every person on the planet learns how to not be a person anymore. I know that sounds really stupid. But the only way to really save the human race from war and global warming and not have fights or not have anger or any of that stuff anymore is for every individual to go deep within, figure out why they're feeling the way they're feeling. Why am I feeling this upset within me? And ask yourself that, like, why am I feeling this upset within me? And then just get really quiet and look around. And it helps if you're in nature. And just look around and feel and try to go within and figure it out. Why is this upset within me right now? And just get quiet and get curious about it. And be compassionate with yourself. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just be loving and compassionate towards yourself. But it's very difficult to do that when you've had parents or people in your life telling you that you're ugly and you're stupid and you're fat and you're all these other things. It's, or you're not good looking, or you're not enough, or you're not smart, or whatever the hell it is. It's very hard for us to be loving and compassionate within when we've been told all these terrible things about ourselves. What we are, what we're not. But to just erase all that, the feelings of not good enough and what you were said to and what you were told and all this other stuff, and just like go within and be like, all right, why am I feeling this upset? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And then once you get to that point, with enough of that practice, you could just not be scared of depression anymore, but see depression as this beautiful thing and be like, okay, every time I get depressed, this is great. Because the more and more I get depressed, the more and more I could go within and ask myself, like, okay, why am I feeling this depression within me right now? And I'm going to be compassionate and loving towards myself about it and really try to figure it out. And the more and more you practice that, the more and more depression is a beautiful thing, because the more and more that happens, the more and more you start to figure out, oh shit, okay, it's because of what happened to me when I was 3 years old. Oh shit, it's because of something that happened to me when I was 5 years old. Internal family systems therapy is really good with that. I'll leave it on the side. You could YouTube it. And compassionate inquiry is another good one. I'll leave that on the side. It's another good one. In the comments. But I think that's the only way to heal the human, so you could dissolve the human and no longer be a human and be connected to God, creation, all things, and not want what humans want, not desire what humans desire anymore. And you could stop being a human, and you could be present, and you could become the stillness, connected to creation, the vessel, and be a vessel for God. And that way we won't have war, we won't have anger, we won't have hatred, we won't have jealousy. We'll just have pain. Because when you feel that upset, when you feel that jealousy, when you start to compare yourself to people, you'll feel it, and then you'll get really sad about it. You won't get angry, you won't get jealous, you won't compare yourself to anyone anymore. You'll just get sad. You'll be like, where's that sadness coming from? That's the sadness that comes from the fact that I don't think I'm good enough. Well, shit. Where does that come from? And then you figure that out, and you realize that it came from people around you. It came from your parents. It came from being around humans. It came from trying to fit in, be accepted by humans, comparing yourself to other humans, beating yourself up. Over what? Trying to be the best version of yourself. But who are you trying to be the best version of yourself for? It's probably other people. So in order to feel all those things, in order to stop feeling all those things as well, and just not be a human anymore, you can't be afraid of depression. You can't want happiness either. Because once you want happiness, you start to think like, okay, why am I not happy? And then you start to torment yourself in the mind. Like, why am I not as happy as Bob? Why am I not as happy as Jill? Why am I not as happy as Jeremy? Why am I not as happy as all these people around me? What's wrong with me? And then you start to compare yourself to people again. So you can't want happiness either. So you can't be afraid of depression. You have to love depression. Invite it in. See it as a gift. Like a Christmas present. Or a Hanukkah present, whatever you are. And then not want happiness. Like, happiness, I don't even want you. If you come around, you're like a cloud in the sky, that's fine. But I don't want happiness. I'm not seeking happiness out anymore. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. I do not care about it. And once you stop seeking happiness, then you'll stop thinking and comparing. And the only way to not be a human anymore is not to want to be happy. Let me say that again, that's very strange. The only way to not be a human anymore, so you can be loving and kind and happy, is to not want to be happy. To not seek it out. Because the more you want to be happy, the more you think and think and think about how you're not good enough and compare yourself to others. And then the more and more you become a human, and the less you'll be able to be happy and achieve happiness, even though achieving isn't a thing. Gotta go.